Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GRP. Back at it on a Monday this time. Sorry. Back at it on a Monday. And what up, Tyler Fish? Antoine in the chat, what's going on? Sunday was Sunday, you know. Watch party was good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Johnny running wild in the chat early. What's going on? Welcome in, guys. Hey, no worries, Antoine. You're one of the guys that's in the chat all the time. I know a little bit about you, so yeah, just letting them know what's going on. But yeah, welcome in, guys, and we're here after a successful night of fights. The watch party was fun. The fights were absolutely insane, incredible. All the adjectives and words you want, verbs. That's what it is. I don't know English, ain't my not that grammar, English, all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Come on. All of the words that describe, holy shit. I'm brain dead today. All the words that describe how great it was. I mean, it's crazy when it's on a Sunday. It's on a Sunday. I had to get up and go to work. And then I have minimal time I literally had to do all the prep when I got home from work. So I mean, I downloaded some stuff when I had some time throughout the day. Yeah, I definitely had to work today. Otherwise I wouldn't have been so stressed. I haven't even got a chance to, as you can see, there's still a chair right there. Usually there's no chairs in the view. I haven't really had time to clean up. I did a little bit, so I just set things back up like I needed to, whatever I needed for now. Damn, Tyler, you got 3 hours of sleep. That's crazy. Yeah, I got work all week, man. I work Monday through Friday. I don't usually work the weekends at all unless absolutely necessary, but that's usually something I am able to stay away from, thankfully. But yeah, it was crazy just getting up and going to work this morning after watching that. Usually you have Sunday to like rewatch things or go over everything that's happening on social media, see what everybody's reactions were, and I just didn't have all that time today. But I did see a lot of reactions from people, and man, for me it was like just kind of reflecting on all the fights that happened last night. 7 fights. It was a goddamn just royal flush of fights, man. That's really all I could say. How can you not be excited after watching those fights last night? Everyone that's talking shit about how this, that, or the other fucking thing, of anything besides the fights that happened last night, if you had a fucking problem with it, go cry somewhere else, stick your head in the sand, who gives a shit? Because this was about the fucking fights. And really, when the fights are that fucking outstanding, and you get a night like that when you're supposed to get a night like that because it's such a big event, it's a once in a lifetime historical just event in the sport. Okay, in the sport, sure, it's not like a multi international blah blah blah, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but a lot of people have a lot of interest in it because it's happening at the White House, which is crazy. I literally couldn't sleep. Me and my friend were texting about it till like 3. Damn. Well, man, we have to be inclusive and hear all opinions. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I figured you were just kidding, Tyler, but we got to play on it. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, I understand, like, sure, people had opinions about it or whatever, but shut the fuck up. All right? We're here to talk about fights, and it was an insane night of fights, man. It was wild. Didn't fall asleep till like 5. It was a great card. What up, Junior? Welcome back, man. Haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome in. But yeah, it was such an insane night. It couldn't have gone better. I was worried about the weather because the delay or whatever. There really wasn't even that much of a delay. It was kind of gave time for all the stuff to be done ahead of time, the national anthem, all that stuff that we had leading up to it. And I've been watching Topuria edits all day. That's what happens when somebody like that goes down, man. But yeah, just from the weather, like, cooperating, it sounded like it wasn't as hot as they expected it to be. There was a breeze out there, Justin said, and he was enjoying the shit out of it. Not to mention enjoying the shit out of a crazy upset fight. Man, I couldn't have been happier. I was so glad that we were able to do the athlete of the year. What's going on? Welcome in. Amazing event indeed. I was just happy we were able to do the watch party and enjoy it live with all of you guys. Man, it was good. Ilya seemed way too focused on making his first round KO come true. He threw all of his fights, all of his feints and defense, and just walked into Gaethje's jab. 100%. They usually smart Topuria fought with low IQ. Partly. I think the other part of it, yeah, he's got a lot riding on finishing that fight the way that he expected to. So there's a lot into that, but I think sometimes that game plan gets thrown out the window if it's not working right away. Maybe his where he faltered was the fact that he didn't throw it out the window. He just kept at it. But I also think if you look at that fight and you pay attention to the two fighters in that cage, it was hard to ignore. Gaethje's just so much bigger. And, Ilya's coming up from a lower weight class. Sometimes that shit doesn't always work. And listen, we heard everybody talk about it. We talked about it. All of the things online about how, the people that were doubting Ilia was because Ilia hadn't fought a true lightweight. He fought Max, who went up in weight. He fought Oliveira, who went up in weight. And the only, he just hadn't fought that true lightweight. That's a big guy in that weight class. And that's what happened. Been watching these aftermath videos all day. 100%, man. I wish I could have watched more. I don't think he has a backup game plan. Is the problem. Yeah, because he's so used to just sparking motherfuckers out. This is what happens when you're undefeated. You don't get challenged. You might be the best fighter in the world, but people don't know because you're just sparking fools left and right? You're winning things by knockout and shit like that. You're not really getting to play the whole game out. And so then this is when I say this is what we got to see, how he bounces back, because that tells you a lot about their game. Were they a one-trick pony and now that's over, or what? And he spent his energy in the second round. I feel the confidence turned to arrogance this time because he wasn't measured and disregarded Justin's danger. 100%. And people will say that was an excuse, but when it comes down to it, it's a fact. You could kind of see it all over the place. Facts, Justin was the hardest hitter he ever faced. Yep. If you watch any interview of Ilia about Justin, he completely disregarded Justin, even back when he fought when he fought Olives. Good call there. Charlie Olives. Yeah. For sure, man. You guys are spot on right there. And I just watched one a few minutes before I started this, and something that Patrick, who was in here with us last night, sent it to me and was just like, it was just him laughing about, people saying, or in the interview, they're asking him like how he feels about how Justin Gaethje's skills match up to his, and he's just laughing it off. Listen, he does this whole night before celebration. He changes his Instagram to 18-0 before he even fights that fight. He does all, and sure, that works when it's working, but when it doesn't work, you look like an idiot. You look like an idiot, and you look arrogant and stupid. And that's kind of what happened, Ilia and Patty can happen now. Oof. Yeah, I know. And I think the way that Patty was able to handle Justin Gaethje's punches better than Ilia did, and the fact that Patty got some in on Justin way better than Ilia did, I think Ilia gets destroyed in that one. Not destroyed, okay? That's what Justin did. I don't think he gets destroyed, but I don't know that he has a good chance against Patty, who is obviously a bigger guy. That's the same reason McGregor lost to Diaz. Yep. I want Justin to retire. It doesn't get better than that. Antoine, that's what I was saying too, man. I don't see what the plus side of doing anything else is. Like, this is the time. You were already at that stage where people were calling for your retirement, saying that you didn't have it anymore. Well, now you proved you did. Why are you going to go out there and get, but these guys, fighting's their life, man. And when you get that kind of success, they want to capitalize. But I think even fighting Ilia again is a little bit dangerous, because if Ilia learns from that fight and he comes back a better fighter, he might have a better chance at fighting Gaethje. But the way that he got beat down, I don't know that they would even give him that immediate rematch, but that's up in the air right now. You know what I mean? Always had a feeling that Topuria would lose to a good striker, but I never would have thought Justin would have been the one to do it. Dude, I'm right there with you. This is what what he needed, honestly, and Justin retires. This win will only look better. Yeah, I had Justin by second. KO in the second, but this was way more impressive. Yeah. It was nice to see the adversity. You know, it wasn't easy, but I mean, just to watching Ilia get just torn apart like that, it was a little rough in that last round, man, because they wanted to call it after the third because he kept saying he couldn't see. That's the one thing you can't do in there. You can't say you can't see because they'll call that fucking fight. But they let it go, man, and they just put him out to pasture. Ilia said he'd finish Emmett in the first, but he still fought measured. Same with Max, Charles, and Volk. Yeah, I felt something was off with Ilia. Walked right into Justin's jab with no setup. Lost his wife, his aura, his belt, and his oh god damn, Tyler.
Damn, son.
Holy shit. Fighters overlook Justin 100%. Athlete, they do look overlook Justin. Listen, I'm one of them. I wasn't sure that Justin could get it done, but I had hope, I had faith, and I kept telling people. I told Patrick when he was sitting here, or we were sitting outside before he was the first one to get to my house, and we were talking over through the fights, and I was like, I kind of wanted to tell him save it for the pod, but he brought it back up, which was good. But we were talking, and I was like, he's like, I don't think Justin can get it done as much as I want him to. I don't think he can get it done. And I was like, listen, man, these are the times in a big event like this where people stand out. These are the times that somebody like Ilia can lose. They're counting out Justin 100%. Look at how much of an underdog he is. Look at how much everybody thinks that Ilia is going to run through him. These are the times that Justin can get the win. These are the times that someone like Ilia can lose. And that's what happened. And I was happy about that. But I will give Antoine props. Antoine, Ciryl Gane came through for you, man. Ciryl Gane came through. He proved everything you were saying was correct. I still don't think it's enough to go off of against somebody like Aspinall, but everything you were saying proved to be true about the skills of Ciryl and the fact that going up against Poatan, you were right, man. So, you know, all of the back and forths we had, I got to give you your props for everything you said, because in the end, it proved to be right, man. So I give it to you. Let's see, what else? Now that we had a day to think about it, was this the best event of all time? Man, for me, I feel like it was, for me, in my opinion, it was, because not only the backdrop, the venue, all the festivities, and the fact that, that Dana said it was going to be the best event of all time, and it pulled through, man. 7 for 7 KO fucking 7 for 7 KO fucking wins. You know, finishes. That's what I was going for. I keep reading the chat. You guys are killing it right now, man. This is awesome. But yeah, I do think that for me it is. Also starting to think of all those wife comments that got to Topuro's head. Now, my friend said that last night too. It's been an awful year for Ilia. Yeah. I went 2-5 on your picks. Yeah, I'll show you my picks in a little bit. I did a little better than that, surprisingly. But yeah, man, it was a tough one to pick, Junior. So what's good, fam? Came into your stream late, but still liked and subbed. Oh, I appreciate that, Xavier. Yeah, I remember you at the end. Y'all were doing your thing. What a night of fights. For sure, Xavier. I appreciate you jumping in and subbing, man. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. But yeah, thanks for jumping in. Hey, we had a good time, and this is what I love to do. So I hope that you continue to enjoy it. Thanks for the sub, and make sure you guys hit that like button while you're here, please, before we get too deep and I forget to say it. And yeah, it was a good one. For sure, 100%. I agree with you. Okay, I think Gane is finally in his prime, and he's improved so much since the Volkov rematch. It's insane. Yeah, man, he definitely proved it. Top 10 all time for sure. Johnny said best event since UFC 300. Yeah, and I honestly think it was better than 300 too, man. Bro, someone called him Ilia no mas Topuria. Oh, I saw that shit. I think Armin called him that. That shit was cold. I had all the right picks initially, but I switched them the week of the fight because I got a feeling. Oh shit. I hate that, man, because sometimes you don't want to ignore those feelings, but then sometimes those feelings fail you, bro. It's a damn shame that that's what happens, but that's why it's called betting and gambling. You got to take that gamble sometimes. Yeah, this is the greatest spectacle ever, man. It was yeah, for sure. No more. Seeing Justin walk from the Oval Office was insane, dude. It was fucking cinema, man. Watching him looking at the declaration as they started that that was goddamn. I don't think it could have been planned any better. You know what I mean? In Spanish, it hits harder. Yeah, especially when you know the lore. You know what I'm saying? When you know where No Mas came from, yeah, it hits harder that way. Oh man, it was just such a fucking fantastic event. I wish we could go back and do it again. Like go back. I want to relive it again. It was so fucking good. I haven't felt this good about a fight night. You know, we've had some really good ones here and there, with a lot of finishes and just a great fun fight card. But everything involved in this one just made it so much better. The upsets, the big wins, the finishes throughout the entire card, everything, man. The walkouts, the fucking music, you know, everyone. It was just so nuts. Even back in 2023, I knew Gane was always a hard matchup. And that's when Alex was younger. Yeah, Australian Hoofy is completely new animal. Well, the problem is Chandler's a little washed at this point, and I think we kind of knew that. But yeah, he really showed those colors. And I'm not gonna take too much away from Hoofy, but I do think that that change in camps definitely helped him out. Bro, the flyover for the veterans walkout dude, that was insane. I fucking loved it. I loved like every part of it, man. I can't even believe it. It had us screaming USA. You know what I'm saying? I haven't felt this way about an event since UFC 300. This was so much better. Yep. Like there's no way to top this. It's gonna be tough to top this 100%. Told y'all Gaethje was gonna win. I was with you, Tua. Chandler looked mortified of Hoofy. He did. He looked small as shit, and yeah, he got handled. Dustin should have came out of retirement for the trilogy fight with Justin. Hey, he slammed Fiziev too, not just Chandler. Yeah, I mean that's true, but damn, he just looked so damn good against Chandler though. Homegirl that sang the O'Malley was so cool. She was, man. We were giving her props all night. You can tell she wasn't pro, but held it down. Yeah, she did her thing, man. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I picked Justin too on camera at that. Hell yeah. That's awesome. You know, the live band was great. It was. I usually don't like that kind of shit, to be honest with you. Sometimes, you know, it just feels like I'd rather hear the regular song, you know what I mean? Like nothing hits harder than Superstar coming from Lupe Fiasco with the beats and all that shit. But it was a good rendition. I'll give him that. And I'm just glad that Sean kept it real and still, you know, had that song coming out. The immortal Josh Hogan going to be heavyweight champion next year. He very well could be at this point, man. But he might have a tough time with Gane. Gane's just looking fucking like a beast right now. They did flyovers before the fight for the troops and had a flyover, but that's the first time they used the Blue Angels and the Rolling. Yeah, they had to do it big. And I do remember the fight for the troops was fucking awesome. I was saying that before, that I loved those events and I really wish they still did those, but I guess there's issues with all that. So because Dana was asked about that. I wonder how much money they put into this. A fucking lot. Also, what's with Chandler never getting out colded? He's always getting TKO'd with him falling all over the place, never goes unconscious. Man, that's a good question, Junior. I really don't know. And that's a good point too. He really doesn't get put out cold. He just fucking, yeah, he's the old drunk guy falling all over the place. I feel like even if you hate Trump, this was about America and the event was done right. I fucking agree with you 100%, Xavier, 100%. Dude, and Dana was pissed at Hogan comments about Michelle. Yeah, that shit was on CNN. Yup. It's a fucking massive event, man. You can't deny it. Josh is the only guy that can praise Jesus and make the joke. He didn't still have a fan base. I read over 60 mil. Yeah, 60 mil was what they were saying, but they had to have spent more than that, man. 60 mil is kind of small for that. I hate Trump and went to that event. You went to that event, Tua? You were there? Gane can't handle grapplers. Tom going to submit him. I mean, yeah, it's true, but maybe he worked on it. I don't know. But you're right about Gane not being able to handle. I mean, look at what John Jones did, even though John Jones is a GOAT, you know. But yeah, Dana had to be politically correct, bro. He left too. He sure did. You saw Joe's face, even though he was like, oh shit, I got to get that mic away from him. But yeah. Yeah, I was there. I was in the Ellipse. How was it, Tua? That shit's crazy. It looked insane. I saw they had a cage out there. Did you see Sean Strickland? He got escorted out. Nuts. You think the Sphere was more expensive? No. No, I think the White House had to have been more expensive. I saw some Instagram creators looking at the deleted DC tweets and insisting that the White House cars was entirely rigged and everyone. Oh, yeah, that shit was all dumb. Can't wait for Barack Obama versus Josh Hogan in a street fight. Alex Topuria and everyone else wanted to get in the biggest stage. Wanted to get what? I'm not seeing, I don't know what that word was, but no, I think Ciryl has improved. They don't just stay the same, they improve their weakness, in my opinion. Not all of them, but you're right. Gane is definitely working. It was fantastic. It rained for 2 seconds. It was nice and breezy, but humid. Yeah. KO'd. Oh, got you. Everyone else wanted to get KO'd. Okay, yeah. It was really nice. I wasn't expecting it to be that cool. Hell yeah, man. That's fucking awesome, bro. I'm jealous. I would have loved to have been there, even in the Ellipse, just to hang out and fucking see that big production. They did it right, man. I'll tell you that much. I wasn't sure how it was going to all come out in the end, but they did it right. And I thought it was a badass fucking production and a badass night all around. If you had to put a number on the amount of fan views, what would you say? I saw some shit earlier saying that Dana wasn't wrong about the fact that it was going to do Super Bowl numbers. So, yeah, dude, it looked like there was a fucking sea of people there. They said upwards of 80,000 people. I don't know, Antoine. I'm not good with those kind of numbers, but if you think about Super Bowl numbers, because people just watch the Super Bowl for the halftime show and the commercials. So you get a ton of viewers, and it sounds like they did that. At least. Yeah, bro, I'm a homebody and loved it, but I had a chance to go, I would. Yeah, for sure. Bro, if it was more entertaining than any Super Bowl I've dude, it far cleared any Super Bowl I've seen in a long fucking time. So I thought the White House crowd would be no bigger than the Apex. Glad it wasn't. Yeah, I heard it was gonna be like 4,000 in for the actual crowd. But most of it, obviously a lot of troops and shit like that. But it did Super Bowl numbers in Dana White's head. I don't know. I mean, I saw things saying that it actually might have done those kind of numbers. So I don't know. Everyone was wild chill. Everyone was excited about the fights. No dorks or assholes in the crowd. Well, that's good. You better have been a goddamn true fan to be out there with that kind of shit. The thing the UFC would have to do is one spectacular card a year. Yeah, I mean, this far exceeds everything I thought was going to happen. I feel like they made up for all the bullshit in the beginning of the year with the turnover to Paramount Plus and all the stupid shit. That was fake news, Johnny? Okay. Maybe so. UFC Coliseum or UFC Pyramids next. That's the only way they could come close to anything that happened at this event for sure. I read 70%. It better have been 70% military for sure. One thing could have made that event better. Strickland on comment. You saw what happened at that brand risk event, right? I mean, I don't know that they could have gotten away with that shit. He obviously wouldn't have walked out of this one because it was real fighting, what he does. But yeah, I don't know that he could have dealt with him on there. The DC shit was fucking crazy. Yeah, I heard that was all fake, but I mean, you never know. You know what I mean? But you never know. So it was weird though that all that shit kind of going down in the middle of everything. I don't know, man. I haven't really looked deep into it. I just kept hearing some stuff about it here and there. So it was mostly military under the claw, but the Ellipse was mostly civilian fans. Yeah. ESPN reported on it. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna report on it just because it's a big thing, especially if things like that were to actually have happened. But what DC, I missed it. Tua. So basically one of the Trump kids was what was it Eric Trump, I think, supposedly was texting DC about if he knew about any injuries and all that shit. So but they said it was fake because and it was probably a hack because of the fact that it had some kind of betting like advertisement like mixed in with all of it. So Hokit should have said release miles instead of that joke about the former first lady. That probably would have been received a little better, honestly. Alex Topuria is a hell of a brother for recognizing Ilia's just going to get hurt out there. Undefeated record doesn't matter if you take serious unnecessary injuries. True. A lot of pussies on the mic. They were kind of told that they couldn't be doing that kind of shit, but I don't know, man. I think it's the thing is it's not really the time for that. You know, I mean, I get it because you're at the White House. It makes it a little more political, but I don't think in fighting, man, I just don't think that it's necessary to be doing all that bullshit, especially on a night like that where it's like, it's all about celebrations, man. I agree. People got to remember he's Ilia's older brother. Yeah. Strickland would, well, yeah, we know Strickland would have said it because he has no fucking filter whatsoever. I don't even think he can just, I don't even think he can control it. I've seen so many non-MMA accounts talking about the White House card and believing Josh Hokett was genuinely drunk on the scales. Yeah, they're stupid. Just casuals, bro. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. We need a Muhammad Ali of MMA to emerge. See, yeah, that was a whole different thing. That was a different time, and he was a different man. That had different, obstacles out there. So that was real shit. Anybody that does anything like that now, I don't know that there could be, because they didn't have the struggles that Muhammad Ali had to deal with. You know what I mean? So that was kind of different. Imagine Strickland singing a lullaby. His comments unironically thinking Hokett was shit-faced at the weigh-ins. Yeah, they're just dumb people, man. We deserved at least a free. Oh shit. Yeah, man. Craziness, bro. Obviously, this is how I know it was so crazy, just because you guys have so much to say about it. Like, this is what I expected, and this is why I was excited to do this, and this is why I busted my ass to get all my prep done in time so that we could do the show tonight. Who do you think would be that figure for the UFC right now? I don't know that anybody has really the background, the accolades, or anything of that sort. Maybe, I don't want to say the intelligence, because there's a lot of smart guys out there, but I just don't know that anybody's in that position. Like I said, it was a different time, it was a different man, and there was different struggles back then when Muhammad Ali dealt with all that shit. And no matter what people might say about that, I feel like that was way more important than anything that's going on right now to anybody in particular. You know what I mean? So anybody speaking up about these things is sure commendable in certain ways, depending on your beliefs and what you think is right or wrong. But nobody has to deal with the type of shit that Muhammad Ali had to deal with back in that day. So thanks for the Monday stream. Oh yeah, what's up? All is good. Welcome in. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming back. What's next for Gane? Should he move up? For Gane? I mean, he's at heavyweight. Where's he gonna go? Oh, and he okay. Yeah. Oh man, dude. Also, let's talk about this. Should they make a wing for coaches in the Hall of Fame? Trevor Whitman is a Hall of Fame coach with 3 all-time greats: Rose, Kamaru, and now Justin. Yeah, I think they should for sure. That's probably something that they'll come up with down the road. Alex looked so stuck in the mud. His movement was lethargic, and his jab looked slow. God needs to move up. Oh my God. Yeah. So I just I Poeton, man, that was kind of a disappointment. I was disappointed in that. I feel like, maybe everyone was right talking about the weight not being good that he took on. It definitely slowed him down. Gane looked way faster. And Gane's a true heavyweight. You know what I mean? So that's really, without taking too much away from Gane, that's really all you can chalk it up to with Poeton. Because we know what kind of a beast he is, but maybe he's just not that in the heavyweight division. Maybe the top of that was 205, and maybe he just needs to stay there. Yeah, so before we keep going, because I mean, shit, we just did half an hour of just straight talking, but let me get my sponsor in there, Noctane. You saw a lot of it last night because we were we were doing it. If you miscalled the fight, you were taking a sniff and a whiff. So let me do that real quick. Thanks to Noctane Smelling Salts for the sponsorship. Of course, I appreciate you. Always love, staying awake and alert with the with the smelling salts. I'm laughing at the chat. Here we go. Let's take a little whiff here. This is the most potent bottle with the red cap, which is why I have a harsh reaction, but they are smelling salts too. I'm sure you've seen Boof. Hell no, Tua. Here we go. Oh. Oh God. It was so funny when they did the sponsorship for you. Yeah, I know. You see my eyes got watery on that one. Holy fuck. How many caps are there? There's 3. So you got the red cap, which is the most potent. You got the black cap, which is the mid-range. And then you got the white cap, which is like novice level, entry level. You know, if you want to just try it out and you don't want to go hardcore right away, see how you do with the white cap. So there's three different potencies, and then you can get different scents and smells for them. So it's not such just an ammonia smell, you know what I mean? For me, I don't really care, but I've been getting different scents and stuff. I use it a lot, so I don't really notice the scents too much. There was a black pepper one that I could actually smell every other time. I've had the lavender, which kind of went away after a little while, but it was still good. It's still there. It makes it a little less harsh, but this is the most potent bottle, so it's rough. So yeah, there's 3 caps. You can scan that QR code on the screen. There's a link in the description below under all my videos. Go take a look at their website. They have a good website. It's really nice to look at. It's informative. And if you scroll all the way down to on their main page, you'll see that it says proudly sponsoring the Going Rounds podcast, which is me. So yeah, thanks for that, Noctane. Go support them if you guys want to try out some smelling salts. They keep you awake and alert. And did black pepper make you sneeze? It didn't, surprisingly, because when I mess with a lot of seasonings, I do sneeze a lot, but it didn't make you sneeze. You could just kind of smell it in there. It was kind of cool, actually. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but not bad. Anyway, let's get into the prep I actually did, and this is all we're going to talk about is Freedom 250, so we got to go through the fights and break them down. We'll go from the bottom to the top. 7 fights total, all KO wins for, you know, everybody, and it was a fun card, so let's go. But first off, you know, we already talked about everything we talked about so much already, so it's like I usually just kind of go over things right here, but there's really no point. We can just keep going. Really, you know, I just wanted to take a look again at McGregor always has a credit card next to his smelling salts. 100%.
Get your fucking shit together, my God.
Yeah, that's what he would tell me. I'm not doing it like he does. Yeah, so I mean, impressive showing for the venue, you know what I mean? I love that UFC Freedom 250 logo at the bottom, all lit up. The claw looked sick. The lighting, everything, man. The fireworks, the flyovers, the cage looked dope. Those ring girls. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how I was gonna feel about those. You know, the outfits didn't look the best when I first saw them, but when they were walking around in them, man, yeah, it was looking good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And it brought that little bit of extra to the event, so you know, it made the ring girls stand out too, so that was cool. I appreciated it. Worst gloves in history though, Tyler, I don't know, man. I kind of liked it. We were talking about the fact that maybe, you know, it'd be good to have that instead of just the tape. I mean, nothing beats the, you know, traditional UFC glove with the black with the white, but I think it's because we just all have, since they changed to those gloves, I feel like everyone just loves that because of, you know, tradition and history. But I don't know, these gloves were kind of hidden for me. I like them, but that's just me. I mean, the guys thought they were cool too. So anyway, speaking of the flyover, of course I had to showcase that on top of the weather issues. We saw this crazy ass picture of what looks like the lightning strike on the Washington Monument, but you know, obviously it was just a background. But that's a pretty sick picture, and the flyover picture, just insane, man. That's a thing of, like, would love to get that just blown up and put on one of those, like, what do they call those metal poster things, disc plates or something like that. That'd be sick to have in the background, or the one of Justin doing the backflip with the White House in the background too. That'd be dope. But yeah, these pictures were sick. Everything about the event was just good, man. And I'm glad to hear, you know, from somebody who was there, like Tua, that the ellipse was badass. I hope he's not just trolling me. But it sounds like, you know, with all the details he gave, sound like he was there. So that's badass, man. I love it when they do custom gloves. I think they should allow ranked fighters to have their own custom gloves. Yeah, I mean, we saw the kind of the ones that Holloway was giving away. They were doing a giveaway for some Holloway gloves that look like the floral pattern that his shorts, you know, that he has his custom shorts with now. And that would be pretty sick if they let him fight with that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a money thing, you know, as long as they don't just do those fucking stupid gold gloves that they were doing before. Those things were horrific. Those were the worst gloves in UFC history. Not these. But yeah, I do think it would be interesting to see. But, you know, they went to the uniforms, and now, you know, it's like they're barely letting them get their own shorts. So maybe in due time, it'd be nice. Maybe they'll get a lot of good feedback from people liking these gloves. Maybe they'll give us something interesting to look forward to in the future. But who knows? We'll see. So let's get to the fights. Let's go over the fights. I was a little disappointed in this first one, just because I listen, don't get me wrong, I like and respect Diego Lopez. What made the gold gloves so bad, you think? They look cheap. It looked like cheap ass. The picture is fire, man. It summarizes the whole event for sure. I think the gold gloves look cheap. It looked like some cheap ass spray paint that they put on them. You know, the logos wouldn't stay on them. It was just bad. I just didn't like it at all. They should have done gold lettering with the champ gloves. Yes, they gold color only goes well with matching outfits. Yes, I think that the champions and somebody, I think even just the champions, but maybe just any championship fight should have all black gloves with the UFC logo in gold. I've said that before too, so that's a good call there, Junior. But a lot of people saying it. Yeah, I get it, Tyler. For me, that's why I said my opinion. I feel like that those gloves were not bad. Maybe the logo on it could have been better, but I feel like the blue and the red, I don't know. I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? Just looking at it in this picture too. I think people associate the red gloves with Bellator and the blue gloves with like another organization. I don't remember who had blue gloves at one time, but maybe that's, you know, maybe that's why people don't like it much, but I thought they were dope. So, it went with the outfits nicely and stuff like that. So maybe for like 4th of July fights or something. No, I'm talking about people saying Gaethje and his gloves stuffed because of that one picture. Oh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, I missed your, oh, okay, my bad. No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. So shit, I never heard about that part. I agree with you, bro, but yeah, everyone has their own opinions. Yeah. The gold gloves looked fine on Ilia, but he had the red and gold shorts. Yeah, I mean, I just thought those gloves looked cheap. So that was my problem with them at all. Every TikTok comment section, I see everyone saying he had his glove stuffed. There's no way, man. I don't think there's any way possible that was the thing. And stuffed with what? You know what I mean? Because there's a picture of when he got his hand raised. Yeah, I mean, but stuffed with what? You know? I don't know. People just make something out of anything these days. It looks like there's something in his glove. Yeah, I mean, it could have been tape. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't see anything about this, so I'll have to look it up. But yeah, so Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. It was sad to see Steve Garcia. It's just cope, I think. Probably. Plus, these gloves get checked as they were. Yeah, that's why I say I don't think there's any way that would happen. But yeah, you know, people make something out of anything. But yeah, it sucked to see Steve Garcia go down like that, man. But you know, Diego is a skilled fighter. He's been up there and challenged for championships, even though people didn't think he deserved that second shot at the title against Volk, you know. And he kind of got worked. So not kind of, he did. But yeah, when it comes down to it, he's a high level fighter for a reason. And, you know, Garcia came out looking sharp in the beginning. You know, he was aggressive, using that jab well, putting the pressure on and you know, getting some good volume out there. And he pretty much won most of the first round, I think. But, you know, he was frustrating Lopez a little bit. But, yeah, it just went downhill for him, unfortunately. Diego caught his rhythm and really took over. conspiracy theories are just fun these days. Sure, 100%. I had Garcia. I did too, man. I was going for Garcia. I don't know. I saw people saying they didn't check Justin's gloves, but take that with more than one grain of salt. Yeah. So, you know, Steve Garcia coming in with such a big win streak, you know, and being an underdog and stuff. I was just hoping he would pull it out. It would have been nice to see the American win in the first fight of the night at the White House, but you know, he got his glory walking out, being the first fighter in the cage, but you know, unfortunately he went out like he did. He got put out cold. You know, it might have been a quick knockout. He came too quickly, but still his eyes rolled back. He was out, you know. He got worked and handled, and it was kind of sad to see. I would have loved to have seen him with his family in the cage after a win. But yeah, Diego Lopez is tough, man. 2 minutes and 42 seconds into the second round, Lopez gets that, you know, somewhat of a comeback knockout and gets the win. Steve Garcia folded when Lopez drastically amped the pressure. Sucks for him. Yeah, it does, man. I'm Mexican, but I feel that. Haha, America, baby. Yep. You see my brown complexion, so you know. Like I said last night, I'm not usually all patriotic and shit for the most part. It's not for any other reason than I just think people get out of control with it sometimes. But you know, it is where I was born and raised here, so I may have the ethnicity of a Mexican guy, but you know, I was born and raised here, so I'm, you know, Mexican American, however you want to say it. But you know, and I have love for the Mexican culture, but you know, I just don't immerse myself in that stuff too much because people just get crazy with it, just like everything else. So that's just how it is. I just try to keep it even keeled and level, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, unfortunately for Garcia, you know, he was winning the fight in the beginning, but Lopez just took the hits with stride, and you know, rolled with the early pressure. He's, you know, stayed the dangerous fighter that he is, and reminded everyone why, you know, why he's up in the rankings like that. How one mistake can get him to turn the fight around into his, you know, into his realm of you know, of fighting, and he made it his fight and turned it around and got the finish. So did you see the picture of Diego on the cage? Yeah, that picture was sick. I should have put that one in here, but again, I was kind of prepping quickly. There were so many pictures, man. I had like upwards of 81 pictures I downloaded throughout the day, and I just couldn't. I didn't have enough time to, you know, really just prep it all. I just felt like I needed to just kind of keep it, you know, level. But we all saw the pictures, man. It was good. I am, because I love this country. I don't agree with the politics on either side all the time. Yeah, for sure. I hear that. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Shit. Trying to get me to sing a damn song. Is Garcia still a main event fighter to you? I think so. I think he can make his way back. Maybe, you know, hopefully he learns from this loss, and hopefully he learns from this loss and he comes back a better fighter. You know what I mean? I don't think it's over for him. I think he could definitely come back and make his way back up there. You know, with that much of a win streak, I think he's got the I think he's got what it takes to make his way back. So maybe a co-main event. You're always a hater sometimes, Tyler. Always. Sometimes, you know, I'm over here contradicting myself, but you know what I mean. Anyway, moving on, we had Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins, which kind of forgot about this fight for a second with everything else going on throughout the night. But, you know, Bo Nickel, it was because the first round wasn't the most exciting. I mean, the beginning of the first round wasn't very exciting. But, you know, Nickel turned it up after a little bit when he got stood up and he said, you know what, I guess if you don't want me on the ground, I'm going to show you what I got on my feet. And we all cried for Dawkins. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to see him get the win too. But, I mean, Bo Nickel, super patriotic, you know, one of Trump's favorite fighters. So, you know, they're both American, man, when it comes down to it. And, yeah. But, yeah, watching Dawkins lose like that, he's had a tough run in the UFC, and, you know, he came back and he's had on a 2-fight win streak, looking better than ever. But, you know, he fights Bo Nickel, who is super motivated, younger guy, on a roll. He's only had one little hiccup in between there. So, you know, and he's got skills and he's ever improving, and that's something that is important when it comes to had to go back to being a cop. Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's kind of something that he was proud of and stuff like that too. But yeah, just, you know, Chris just was not, you know, he wasn't a high level fighter, so it was tough. It seemed Dawkins underestimated Bo's striking and also folded when he yeah, they're gonna put him in the rankings for this watch. I bet Bo is someone to watch every time. Yeah, so far, yeah, I mean, in that RDR fight, everybody called fraud check and shit, but you know, he's come back and got that head kick knockout, and now this knockout. So you know, he's doing well, even though the striking doesn't seem to be the best, but it's always improving because he's gotten 2 really big knockouts. Maybe not the biggest opponents ever, but you know, still, he's at least still has money from his fighting career for sure. How good is Paul Craig? Yeah, man, it's just crazy. I think he could beat RDR in a rematch now if he keeps getting better. Yes, I think we didn't see a whole lot of defense that was needed in these last couple fights for him, so I think we need to see somebody's going to pressure him and really make him defend to see how he does against that, because it seems like when he gets hit flush, he doesn't like it at all. He's kind of like Brock Lesnar in that manner, if you remember, but Brock was a beast and a big guy, so he was able to take it a little more. But you know, RDR put the beating on Bo's body, and he couldn't take it. So, you know, he hasn't gotten tested like that again yet. So we got to see what happens when he gets tested like that again. But moving on, we had Mauricio Hoofy versus Michael Chandler. I was so hyped for Dawkins versus Nickel, and happened to be the least competitive fight, but still ended in a KO, man, in the first round. So that's how you know a damn good fight card when it happens, because you know the least the least competitive fight still landed a first round KO, which is nuts. Real shit good. Oh, right on. I'm glad you got that one. They're probably gonna do Bo versus Izzy next. Oof. And version of RDR beats Bo. It's a stylish nightmare for him unless he improves and gets better, you know what I mean? If he works on it, you know, it's not one of those things that he could. Some guys have, you know, that thing in them, when they get hit they just crumble. It can be overcome, but I don't know, you got to see what Bo Nickel's made of, you know what I mean? That's why I say we got to see him get tested again like that. Hoofy's the second coming of McGregor style wise. Maybe not as, I don't want to say polished, but maybe not as polished, you know, the way bro, that roundhouse was beautiful. It was. And that's how you know how powerful his kicks are. Michael Chandler is, you know, blocking those kicks, and it's still getting through and still landing. You know, he's kicking around the arms. It was nuts. You know, that height and length for Hoofy and the size was just way too much for Michael Chandler. But at the same time, unfortunately for Chandler, he's a little washed. I hate to say it, but now he's 2-6 in the UFC. That's like a 4-fight losing streak for him. It's nuts. But yeah, just Hoofy is, you know, he keeps getting better as well, just like Bo. It's not easy to do that at this level of fighting. Yeah, for sure. And you know, Hoofy, he's just getting better. You know, he lost once too, and then everyone's talking about the downfall of the, you know, the fighting nerds, but he did just kind of need that change up, you know what I mean? He still was technically with the fighting nerds in his last fight, but now he's with, you know, with Volk in them, and it's good. It's working out good for him. We'll see. I need him to get a tougher opponent. I need him to get somebody that's really going to pressure him and see what he can do, just like I was saying about Bo. But I think that Hoofy's definitely got a lot of potential to go far, and I'm excited. I like his fighting style, and I think that he's got a lot of talent. So definitely excited to see who they give him next and what he can do with it. But yeah, he's on a good rise up right now. You know, he stuffed Chandler's takedown attempts, which Chandler, you know, doesn't use his wrestling like I think he should. But he still tried some takedowns, and he was just too short, doesn't have long enough arms. Hoofy with the long limbs was able to defend very well, which was good. You know, he landed a lot of big shots, like we said, those kicks. Yeah, Hoofy just he just took over, man, and he showcased his skills, and he got the win. So not much else you can say about that fight except you know, it's really tough for Chandler. It's a first round KO. You know, he had 30 seconds left in the round and couldn't continue. So Hoofy gets the first round KO, and Chandler, we'll see what happens next, man. Do you think Michael would have done good if he came over at 30? I think, yeah, I think that a lot of his prime was wasted in Bellator, and I say wasted because what did that bring for him? You know what I mean? I mean, Bellator was legit for a little bit, and he was a champ over there and stuff, but he had a lot of wars. So a lot of his prime that could have been spent in the UFC at the highest level with the most, you know, recognition, he could have spent over here doing everything he did over there and probably had a better time of it. I think he would have done a lot better than he's done in, you know, this time that he's in the UFC, because he's older and he just wants to put on exciting fights, but it's not faring well for him. So it's like, well, do you want to just keep putting on, you know, exciting fights that you get knocked out in, or that you lose every time? Or, you know, is the money that good? Maybe it is. I don't know. Did you realize Ilia is in the first lightweight champ to lose his belt? Yes, that's an interesting fact, because everybody that has lost a belt since Alvarez has lost it by getting stripped or vacating. So yeah, Tyler, that's a good stat there. I do remember seeing that earlier. Since UFC 205 in 10 years, the belt has only changed hands through being stripped or vacating, which is nuts. Do you ever think he was a good fighter in Bellator? Yeah, I do. I always heard about Michael Chandler. I watched some of his fights. I always think he had a chaotic style, and that was kind of his downfall. If he just stuck to that wrestling a little more and worked that in with the striking a little better, I think it would have been a lot better for him, and he might have been a better fighter right now. But he was still a beast in Bellator. But he had a lot of like issues in the organization and stuff, and I think he wasted a lot of time waiting on that Conor fight, and I think that that just didn't fare well for him either. You know, he waited 2 years. He lost 2 years of his career to have gotten some decent wins. Sometimes that amount of time off is good to you know, heal the body, but when you're, you know, taxing your body doing camps that don't come to fruition, and you don't get that, you know, you don't get that release at the end, it's tough, man. It does a number on you. Bro, this Topuria comeback is going to be generational. We'll see, man. We'll see, Andre. It sounds like you're a Topuria fan, but we'll see. He's definitely got a fire under his ass, it seems like, but I'm always waiting to see how they bounce back, man, because sometimes somebody can have your number, or when you get knocked out or you get finished like that, to the point where you get that beat up in a fight, it changes a man. So we'll see how he handles it and how he comes back. Do you think the divorce played a role in this? Not the way the fight went. I don't think so. I think more what played a role more in the fight is his overconfidence. All that shit just catches up to you. Like I said earlier, celebrating ahead of time, changing your profile to say that you're 18-0 because you think it's in the bag and you're just gonna win. That shit will catch up to you. You can't be that fucking that's overconfidence in the worst way. And you know, it looks good when you're winning, but when you lose, it looks real bad for you. And I think that kind of shit just plays a role in the mental, you know, the mental state. So yeah, and I'm sure the divorce played a small role, but I think more than anything, all that type of shit is what really made Ilia just kind of not able to overcome this obstacle here. So it's a tough one though, man, because Gaethje's a beast and he's so much bigger than Ilia. But yeah, let's move on to Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis. This is crazy, man. When you think about it, there's just so much to talk about with every one of these fights, and we keep going back to the main event. That's how you know how good it was. I think Ilia got in his own head with his arrogance when he's usually level-headed with his confidence. Yeah, for sure. And you know, all of the things that you were saying earlier are valid. I think that's I think a lot of that has to do a lot with what happened in this fight. It's a great lesson. No one is unbeatable. 100%. You know, if Khabib would have stuck around for long enough, I'm sure he would have gotten beat too. You know, it's like a lot of people down on the strength of schedule for Khabib, and the fact that he, you know, didn't defend as many times as other guys that are considered GOATs. But, you know, again, you stick around long enough, you're gonna get beat. I think that's definitely one of those things. To be honest, we could be here until 2 a.m. for sure. He didn't make any excuses though. No, he didn't. And I give him props for that. Because actually I took a screenshot and I forgot to add it in here. Oh, you know what? I'll read it real quick just so I don't forget, because I will forget. In case you didn't see it, Ilia did put out a statement saying, "Justin, congratulations. You said you'd leave your mark on my face, and you did. You took sight from my right eye in the first round, and by the second, my left eye too. No excuses. I had one of the best camps of my life. I came in sharp, prepared, and ready. Last night was your night. That's the nature of this game. Glory and pain walk side by side. I'll heal, I'll rest, and I'll return stronger, wiser, and far more dangerous. And trust me, this story between us is far from over. We will have our rematch." That's powerful shit, man. That's a good way to handle that. That's a good way to handle the situation and not make excuses, and be accountable for your actions, and you know, be respectful for the guy who won the fight. So good shit there. I still feel Khabib would have slowed down considerably had he made it to the third. Yeah, probably. I mean, that's what I'm saying though. We just never got to see. Yeah, it's just that's called a humble man right there for sure. Yeah, Khabib is just always going to be one of those guys that everyone's going to have a difference of opinion on. Yeah, it's rough. For me personally, John and Khabib were the two dudes I thought were never going to lose. Yeah, and I mean, technically John has that loss, but I understand the argument about not counting or whatever. But hey, we'll see if he ever comes back to fight. Maybe he gets a legitimate loss down the road. Like I said, you stick around for long enough, it's bound to happen. But as far as this fight goes, it's unfortunate, man, because I was really going for Derek Lewis. You all saw, if you were here last night, that I had the Derek Lewis shirt on. It was a patriotic shirt, to say the least. So, of course, it matched well. But Derek Lewis is not really my favorite fighter ever. My wife got me that shirt because we all enjoy Derek Lewis. We think he's hilarious, and it's just fun. And, you know, I like him a lot. But it was just one of those things that she bought me because she loved the shirt and she thought I would like it too. So, oh yeah, shout out to Matt Hamill. Yup. This card showed how good Jones was, though, not only because Gane won, but also he never lost despite fighting so many guys over so many years. Yeah, I get that, John. Josh Hogan is a real American. Yeah. So Derek Lewis now he has the most knockouts ever, but he's also been knocked out the most. So that's a tough stat, man. He's got so many TKOs on his record, but he's also been, you know, knocked out a lot too, TKO'd a lot. So it's tough. But Josh Hogan really showed a lot of skills in this fight, you know, going up against the big man, the Black Beast. You know, it's one of his biggest wins ever. That crazy brawl with or crazy war with Curtis Blades showed one side of him, and then this just kind of showed another. You know, I give it to Derek Lewis for not seemingly kind of quitting the way we've seen him do in the past. I mean, maybe he did a little bit, but not as easily as he had in the past. He did try to get up, and he resisted that. It was a horrible attempt at an armbar, by the way. But I mean, still, it was an attempt. So yeah, I mean, he hung in there, and you know, but yeah, he's getting old, man. 41 years old. He's a big guy, and you know, we've seen his downfalls, and it's just not good at this point. I just see it as John has never been defeated in a fight. Nah, I get that. Jones cherry picked his opens in the last year of his career. Opponents, I think you meant. Ducked Ngannou and Aspinall, sat in the belt after the Stipe fight for no reason. Also, the PEDs don't help. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there that are true for sure. If Ciryl beats Tom, that win will age like white wine. Most home runs, most strikeouts. Oh well. J-Dubs. All right. Talking baseball. Or Cabernet. If Josh Hogan is the best wrestler is Josh Hogan the best wrestler in the heavyweight division? Maybe. Jones would have beaten Aspinall. Jones versus Ngannou would have been interesting though. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough thing to say. They'll never cut Derek, in my opinion. Probably not. I think he's gonna have to retire. I mean, they didn't look at. I mean, Tai Tuivasa is still there, and he's got how many losses in a row? And it's because he's entertaining and shit, and that's exactly what Derek Lewis is as well. So, a lot of past COVID fans hate John. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it was tough, but Josh Hogan, I got to give him his props. You know, he did his thing. You know, he looked really tired at the end there, but you know, the Black Beast was just more tired, and Hogan landed some big punches, as you can see in that lower picture that he opened up a cut on Derek Lewis as well. So, you know, he did his thing. He came out there. He proved that he was, you know, he proved that he deserved that fight, and that he's on his way to doing big things. So, yeah, Lewis, all-time leader in knockouts, and yeah, now he's the all-time leader in getting knocked out as well. The only thing Aspinall has in his arsenal is his blitz. Nothing Jones has never seen. True. Tie on a 7-fight losing streak. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And you know, Derek Lewis hasn't put together that many losses. He's lost a lot, but he hasn't lost that much. Not 7 in a row. So while it may look like Derek Lewis might need to retire soon, he doesn't have that many losses in a row. He just has a lot of losses. This marks a 2-fight losing streak for him. He was on a 2-fight win streak before that, and then it looks like his longest losing streak has been 3 fights. He's definitely had some win streaks that span anywhere from 3 to 5 fight win streaks in there throughout his career, and no more than 3 losses in a row. So yeah, while he's lost 2 in a row this time, yeah, he's only lost 2. He lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta in his last fight, Josh Hogan in this one, and then before that he beat Telson Teixeira and Rodrigo Nascimento. He went on a 4-fight win streak against Blades, Olenek, Latifi, and Ivanov. And way back in the day, he went on a 5-fight win streak. That's a 6-fight win streak, actually. That's he beat Gabriel Gonzaga during that win streak, Roy Nelson, Travis Brown. That was a damn good win streak there. That's when he was really hot, back in 2016 and 2017. Yeah, I've always liked Lewis, but he might be done. Yeah. Not even bad losses too. Plus, Jones never actually ducked Aspinall. He said he never had plans to fight him before Aspinall won the interim belt. Yeah, it's tough, man, because they had the whole back and forth thing, and you know, he was flirting with coming back, and yeah, it's just one of those things. It's the position John Jones puts himself in all the fucking time, where to get criticized so harshly because he just puts things out there, and then it just makes it seem like he's, you know, doing the wrong thing always. It's just, that's just in his nature. I don't know why he's like that, but he does it to himself, honestly. When we're in 2040, will people refer to Derek as a legend? I think a legend in his own right. I don't know about an overall legend. You know what I'm saying? He'll be one of those guys that people still talk about, maybe. Yeah, like a fun legend. Yeah, I don't know. Not for, you know. Yeah, he's not one of those guys that had a legendary career. He's just kind of a legend for the way that he fought, and the way that he, you know, the way that he carried himself, the entertainment aspect of everything. Jones only put the tip in, basically. Thanks, Xavier. Appreciate that. That excuse from Jones is BS. Tom was interim champ who defended his belt. How can you have a champ that effectively avoids interim champ? Yeah, I see what you're saying, Junior. You're right. Because yeah, he was supposed to, you know, he was the interim champ, so it's like unify the fucking belt. You know what I'm saying? Dana going to say Islam can become GOAT if he beat Hank Gary. Oh man, yeah. Like I said, John Jones, he does it to himself, man. He does it to himself. It's hard not to hate on the guy sometimes because he just does some stupid shit. Yeah, so let's move on from this one. Congrats to Josh Hogan. You know, he has to be a fool on the mic, but regardless of that, I'll tell you this much: when he was being himself and not a fucking fool and a goddamn joker and a jester, I feel like I like him better when he talks normal. I saw a couple interviews where he was like a normal guy. Sure, turn it up and be funny here and there, but the cringe shit that he does is just too much. Like the Mexican guy that he tries to play, that could be funny, but he always takes it in some weird directions. So no one was talking about Aspinall versus Jones in 2023, and then once Aspinall beat Pavlovich, poof, Jones is ducking Aspinall. Well, the problem is that he was the interim champ. That's what he's trying to say, John. So like, I understand where Junior's coming from, because Aspinall is the interim champ while John Jones has the belt. So it's like, that's why people say he ducked him. You know what I mean? So that's really the only point that matters there is that, you know. So it's unfortunate, but you know, of course people can say whatever they want, that he didn't duck him or that he did, but John Jones' household angry white. Oh shit, Johnny. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it'll never end. And who knows if we ever get to see what would happen between John Jones and Tom Aspinall. Who knows if we'll ever see John Jones fight again either. So that's an ongoing argument. It can never be. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be dropped, unfortunately. Just because we never got to see it happen, you know. So let's move on to Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi. And Sean O'Malley looking like the Sean O'Malley of old, you know what I mean? He definitely does too much, but he's trying to be that guy everyone talks about, and it worked today. Like, I don't agree with him saying what he did, but I understand why he did it. True, but that's kind of the same thing with Colby Covington, and it's just like, that shit's played out, bro. Like, you're just doing too much. Like, you don't have to go that far. You know what I mean? Like, find an interesting way to be noticed without having to be so dumb about it, you know what I mean? And just saying the dumb shit. I don't know, for me that's just what I think, but you know, I also understand the aspect of you know, getting your name out there and being remembered. Jones had nearly 3 years to fight Tom, but chose Stipe and sat in the belt, forced Tom to defend and interim. That's plain ducking. Ariel Helwani was doing great with the running and the leg kicks. True, just be likable and keep knocking people out. Yeah, let the fucking fighting do the talking, bro. You could do the extra talking and you can be a character, but you ain't gotta be that all out bullshit. You know, the different fucking characters that he's playing all together. It's just like, man, you're not out here. You're not a comedian. You're not an actor. You're not a fucking Broadway guy. You're not in a play. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? Be entertaining in a way that isn't so fucking stupid and annoying. Do you think Zahabi becomes a main event guy for Canada now? Probably not. If you think about his fights leading up to this, they were tough fights for him. It's not like he won outright and, you know, was on a banger of a streak. I just think that he, you know, had some good fights in there that led him to this position. But look at what happened when he fights super high level. Of course, Jose Aldo's super high level. But he was on a 2, 4, 6, 7 fight win streak. But look at the guys he fought. Draco Rodriguez, Ricky Tercios, Ari Quiling, Javid Basharat, Pedro Munoz, Aldo, Jose Aldo, and Marlon Vera. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the last 2 fights were tough, and he got a split decision against Vera, and a lot of people thought he lost against Aldo. So, you know, to fight the former champion and a guy who's hungry and ready to come back and make a championship, you know, run again. Yeah. Let's see, UFC rewards trash talkers and character over legit. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but Aspinall ended up having trouble against Gane, who Jones easily beat. Sean O'Malley seems to get stage fright when it comes to the mic skills. He seems lost as to what to say after his fights. Yeah, and you know, he's always kind of being a fool on social media, so I think he was kind of being measured because he just they told him not to do stupid shit, even though Hogan did it anyway. But, you know, who knows? He does seem, it's weird. He's not the same guy in the mic. Maybe it's just adrenaline dump. He can't find the energy to do it. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't think John Jones ever ducked another man. If he would have beaten Tom, it does nothing for his legacy. Yeah. So I guess you could say technically Jones ducked Aspinall, but it turns out it would have been worth his effort to beat Aspinall. But yeah, he should have retired if he wasn't going to. 100%. That's a good take there, John. Ilia smoked Max and Charles, but got beaten by Justin, who got finished by both. Zahabi going to get better at running and hitting leg kicks. MMA math doesn't work. Yeah. Damn, y'all are going nuts. That's what I'm gonna do. Unfortunately, it sells. You get jackasses like me. They got a shock value. No, I mean I do too. Don't get me wrong, but the way Hoka does, I just don't appreciate the way Hoka does it. That's all. John Jones beat Duck and his wife. Most people already see Jones as the GOAT. Beating Tom only would have satisfied new fans because it would have been a big fight. It's corny. 100% Xavier. Who would you have picked in Sean versus Corey? That's tough, man. Because Sandhagen is a tough opponent, but I think Sandhagen is just not destined to be a champ. And Sean O'Malley already has been and knows what it's like. And now we're seeing shades of the old Sean coming back. So I think Sean would have definitely had a tough fight against Corey, but I think Sean would have came out the winner. Jones would have either fought Aspinall or retired instead of sitting on the belt. I agree with that part for sure. Corey would have won with his wrestling. Yeah, but I think O'Malley had the best walk-off KO maybe possibly ever. I feel like he botched it a little bit because it looked kind of bad the way he did the salute. He should have been a little cleaner with that salute, but I still think it was a dope walk-off for sure. Also, we blame Jones for holding on to the belt, but really should blame the UFC for not kicking Jones out. They could have easily done that. That's true. The UFC should have taken action, but you know, especially with all the troubles that John Jones has given them in the past, it wouldn't have been an issue had Hunt retired immediately after the Stipe fight, but he retired 8 months post. Yeah, that is kind of the problem too. But the UFC allowed him to do it too, and that's the other good point. So Mark Hunt probably have better walk-offs. UFC was throwing record offers at Jones, but he turned them down. That's true too, unfortunately. It's a lot, man. There's a lot to it. Like I said, I don't know that argument will ever end. You know, everybody's bringing up good points, and they're all true, which makes it more interesting and confusing. So, but yeah, I feel like Sean did a good job here. I don't know that Amen was at that level yet, but it was a good fight for him. You know what I mean? Amen's just doing some crazy shit, trying to jump in and out, like Johnny was saying with the kicks. And you know, it was just kind of a weird game plan. And for us, Hobby usually has really good game plans, but I just don't know that his brother Amen is of any sort like GSP, who could, you know, execute the game plan perfectly, and if not, adjust to be able to do the things that Faraz wants him to do on the fly. And I just don't think that's who Amen Zahabi is. I think he's a good fighter, but I don't know that he's ever going to be high-level championship, you know, material. But you know, he's a decent fighter, and he was on a big win streak. It may not have been a big strength of schedule behind it, but he still was on that win streak regardless. So, and close fights or not, he was getting the wins. So as far as O'Malley goes, you know, now he's got to kind of wait for, he still thinks that Petr Yan should have been the fight, but instead it looks like they're going to make Merab versus Yan. So we'll see if he gets the winner. If it's Merab again, that's going to be tough for him. Because he's, you know, I think Merab's the guy that has his number. How do you think Fedor would have done in UFC? That's that long. Yeah, it's just tough, man. I don't know at this point. I think at the time he would have done well in his prime, but after that, I don't know, because there was a lot of good heavyweights in the UFC when he was like at the end of his prime / later in the years. You know what I mean? Zahabi's a good runner. How much longer do you think Mike Malott has in his prime? I don't know. I've never really thought about that one. Umar will win the belt next year. Maybe. I'll be saying this forever, but I just wish Jones retired after the Stipe fight. I don't know why he stalled. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. We'll get to the co-main event, and yet another somewhat disappointing one for me. I would have thought Poatan was going to do better. You know, like I that's why I gave Antoine his props for all the good points he brought up. That pretty much came out to be true. Now, you know, when it comes to talking about him versus Aspinall, I still don't 100% agree But this does sway me a little bit in the fact that I think Gane would have continued to give Aspinall problems, especially with busting up his nose as early as he did. So I got to give you the props again, Antoine, and you know, give you your flowers on that one, because you called it and said that you thought Gane was too much for Poatan, and it came out to be true. I think Pereira has to work on you know, deciding how he wants to get his body in better, you know, just a better working fashion. For him to come in at a higher weight than Gane, when Gane's the natural heavyweight, it's tough. You know what I mean? Gane has a different kind of physique for heavyweight as well, but I mean, we always think of Poatan as being a beast. I just feel like that immediately reminded me of when Pereira slumped Izzy against the fence. Oh shit, it kind of did, huh? Yeah, that's a good point, John. Damn. I think it's both parties, John. Oh, okay. If you were Alex's corner, what height would you have him be, or what weight? Is that what you're trying to say? I think like 240, man. I think 240 is probably good for him. I think he's Alex is already an all-time great. He should retire. Yeah, I don't know that he's gonna want to go out like that though. Yeah, I got you, Johnny. I think like 240, 245 tops. He came in at 253. Yeah, I think that's just too much, man. And the fact that Ciryl Gane weighed less than him, I think yeah, Gane came in at 248. I think anywhere between 240, 245 would be good for Pereira. I think that would have him at, you know, where he still has some speed. He doesn't have any flabbiness going on. Not that he was big like that, but it just, you know, a lot of people were talking about the fact that, you know, his weight didn't look good for the way that he gained it or whatever. I was concerned when Alex was heavier than Gane on the scale. The weight looked so bad on him. Yeah, Ciryl has barely any body fat, especially when Pereira was trying to clinch Gane. Izzy was doing the exact same with Pereira. Yeah. Man, now that you point that out, you're fucking right, dude. Holy shit. I didn't even like really put those two things together, but that's true. Yeah, so it was tough, man. It was tough to see Poatan go out like that. Ciryl Gane was at the top of his game though, man. It was a well fought win for him, and you know, for him to be able to capture the interim title again, and you know, do it over such a dominant, you know, fighter in other weight classes, and not allow him to come up and make history with, you know, getting another belt. I picked Gane, but he made me kind of sad. Why is that? I feel Alex just stopped dieting instead of staying lean. I feel he should have been 235, 230 at least. Yeah, I think 240 is at the top of where I think he should be, you know, but I think 235, you know, he was kind of almost weighing that when he was at 205 anyway. So I think he just, you know, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Pereira getting slumped like that. Oh yeah. It was a risk taking that fight. Big time. It was. Ciryl looked bigger, even though he weighed less. He did kind of too. Yeah, he did. But you know, it's just his stature. That's why he's a natural heavyweight, because he just looks as big as he does. That's just how his body is. And I think Alex could be there. He just has to tighten things up a little bit, and I feel like it'll benefit his fight game up there as well. I think just weighing a little less than he was weighing would be more beneficial for him. You know, he's just not a natural heavyweight, so I think getting so much weight on him wasn't good. I think Alex should have taken more time to build a heavyweight body. Yeah, he kind of looked like Holloway when he fought Poirier for the interim. Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, it was tough, man. But Ciryl Gane, you know, the punches. The problem with Ciryl Gane, though. What is it? You guys got to know. Just flab with no beneficial extra weight. Yeah, he kind of. Oh yeah. We want Pereira versus Hokit. The problem with Gane is the elbows, man. I don't think it was as bad as people are making it, but the problem is he has Ciryl dirty as fuck. Yep. He has the reputation of illegal blows, whether it be, you know, groin shots, back of the head, fucking eye pokes, as we know with Aspinall. It's just, you can go through when there's highlight reels made of you with all the illegal shots you perform in fights. It's a problem, man. Oh shit, I appreciate that, Xavier. Thank you. If Alex looked like he did yesterday, hope could beat him easy. Yeah, unfortunately. Yo, UFC 236 is one of the greatest cards ever. That was down here in Atlanta. Oh shit. But yeah, like Ciryl Gane, he's never gonna be able to stay away from the, you know, he's not gonna beat the allegations of being a dirty fighter ever, because he's just constantly putting himself in a position to get called on for that. Like at the end of this fight, you know, actually I have another picture here where you can see like kind of the position of his elbow. That's kind of after hitting an elbow on the back of the head. I think people counted it up. I saw multiple videos from different sources and different people showing the amount of back of the head contact that he made, and it was 12 across the board. People counted them up and it was always 12, which was crazy because everybody saw every single one of them. Gane and Imavov are two dirtiest fighters, and they're both coincidentally from the same place. Holy shit, that's a good point there, Tyler. I didn't even think about that. Herb should have at least warned him, but that's just cope for my part. I hear you, Junior. I hear you, man. I understand that. But yeah, I think they need to do a better job at taking a look at Ciryl. I mean, look at where Herb Dean is during those elbows. Look at him. It's in the picture, plain as day. They are French, right? Yes, Xavier, they are both French. Look at where Herb Dean is. That's bad positioning, bro. Like, how you gonna have the guy on the ground with his head on the other side of the guy on top's body, and you're not gonna reposition yourself? You know what I mean? So he wasn't seeing those elbows. Coincidentally, not able to see the elbows that were illegally thrown to the back of the head. So bad positioning for Herb Dean and dirty fighting from Ciryl Gane. It's bad. Okay, so you can throw Wemby's dirty ass in there, dude. No doubt. I watched some of those finals games, like not all the way through, but I watched some of them. Every single time I paid attention to Wemby, he's doing some shit that seemed kind of dirty. I know you get physical in basketball, but yeah, basketball's kind of become a little bit soft. But the shit that I'm seeing him do is like shit we used to see back in the day. And with all the fouls that get called these days, you know, it's surprising that he gets away with a lot of it. Herb let him die. Also, I realized that every referee was on the card. Really? Glad Herb Dean let it go on, but the back of the head should have been a point deduction for sure. I was gonna say they were pushing Victor too. Victor, I'm not sure what you're saying there, Antoine. I'm sure you'll clarify for me in a minute. But yeah, I was sad to see Poatan go out like that. It was tough. The elbow was on. Oh man. Oh. Basketball. Sorry, I'm back to MMA. Went back to MMA quickly. All right, I got you now. Antoine. Sorry. I went back to MMA, so I forgot about the it's Herb Dean's fault. Yeah, I got it, Tyler. I was not thinking about basketball anymore. That was a quick thought for me that fled quickly. So oh man. But yeah, I don't follow basketball that much either. So, you know, I knew like Wembanyama, and I knew that you know, that they call him Wemby, but you know, I'm not sure that I knew his first name was Victor either. I'm sure I've heard it, but yeah, I don't follow basketball that closely. I just watched some of the final stuff. But yeah, and that's what I noticed. You know, when I do tune in and I'm seeing that kind of shit, it's like, damn. I like Herb Dean as a person or whatever, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that he does, but I don't know that there's any ref that out there that doesn't have, you know, bad stuff against him, bad stops, bad but yeah, I mean, Herb has done a lot. Unfortunately, I got to meet Herb Dean way back in the day when I was first, you know, he was reffing a fight, some fights that were happening here in town. He was a cool dude. I enjoyed meeting him, but yeah, besides that, yeah, being a ref is a tough job, and you're always going to get criticized for everything you do, just like the judges. I'm you know, but also there's really bad refs out there that do stupid jobs, you know, do their job stupidly, and there's really bad judges out there that really cost guys money and opportunities because of their horrible choices and, you know, their bad their bad insight and knowledge on the game. So what's the Arizona regional scene like? I'm not sure, man. It's been a long time since I've been out to any fights regionally, to be honest with you. I got you, Tyler. Damn Ergliata, yep. Yeah, so I haven't been to any fights. I really don't have the time to get out to the fights, but I wish I did more. And I was talking to my wife about this the other day, that you know, I do need to start getting out more and trying to get to events more. It's just trying to make the time and stuff. But I would like to check it out a little more and see if it's any good, you know what I mean? Yeah, but anyway, that was your co-main event. So we have Ciryl Gane now the interim champion for the heavyweight division on one of the biggest stages. You know, no Americans involved in this fight, but a lot of people were going for Poatan to see that history in the making. Even though it's an interim title, he still would have won 3 titles in 3 different weight classes, which would have been historic, and have the chance to really make the full history and be somebody who can't be touched for a while. If he would have been able to unify that belt as well. Do they have big presentation, like lights and stuff? Yeah, they do it at like casinos and shit, if I remember correctly. The one I went to was at a casino, and yeah, the setup was pretty nice. No, it wasn't at a casino, it was at a baseball field. But yeah, they still had a pretty decent setup, if I remember correctly. But I went to some at a casino too. I actually met Cain Velasquez at a fight at the casino as well. Oh yeah, there's definitely casinos out here, man. There's a lot of tribal ground out here, tribal areas in Arizona. So there's a lot of casinos. Have you ever seen that guy who only has 2 pro MMA fights and has an 0-2 record, but his 2 opponents were Yuri and Rico Verhoeven? I do not know. I don't know. I never seen that guy, but holy fuck, talk about a bad luck of the draw, huh? Of course he's 0-2 with those 2 fights. Holy shit. How do you feel when the whole thing happened with his daughter? Dude, yeah, just so I have a free Cain shirt. Cain has always been one of my favorite fighters of all time. I unfortunately watched him lose in seconds to Francis Ngannou. That happened here in Phoenix. But yeah, when I heard that shit about with his daughter, man, as you know how I feel about my daughters and my family, I would have done the same thing. And yeah, I would have done the same thing. So, you know, I just wonder why he didn't want to just like kill him with his hands, honestly. But I get it at the same time. And yeah, it was a crazy situation. And I don't blame him whatsoever. Yeah, he was 100% valid in everything he did. And I just feel really, really bad for his child. I thought it was his son, wasn't it? I kept, you know, I went back and forth, and it's a fleeting thought anymore, just because it's tough to even think about that. But for his child to get, you know, have to deal with that trauma for the rest of their life is tough. So Cain versus JDS1 on Fox, 100%. I watched that shit, and I was sad because I wanted Cain to win, and it sucked to see him lose to JDS like that. But yeah, anytime, I was just so hyped when Cain beat Brock. That shit was so badass. I had so many people telling me that there was no way in hell he had any chance of winning, and I rode hard, and I got the you know, I got to jump up in joy for that one. It was badass. But yeah, it sucked watching Cain lose every time he did lose. But let's move on. Let's talk about this main event before we get out of here and before we wrap it up. And we'll also take a look at my picks. But before that, we'll talk about this main event. You think the first one was bullshit? Nah. I mean, it was just, you know, he just got caught. That's really all there is to it. That's what happens, you know what I mean? He got caught and he got slept. It sucks, but it happens. But yeah, the main event, man. Talk about cinema. Talk about fucking just a goddamn fairy tale playing out, man. I mean, to be the underdog as much as Justin Gaethje was the underdog, to be overlooked as much as he was overlooked, to, you know, be counted out, to be told that there was no way you were going to win, and then to come out and absolutely annihilate your opponent, who was supposed to be the untouchable, unbeatable force of nature, coming up to a different weight class and has already defended his title twice, and, you know, I mean, already defended his title once after winning it. And all of the stuff that Justin Gaethje had working against him, and for Ilia to come out and just get beaten as bad as he did. It was just a fucking story, like a storybook ending. It's just insane. I think that version of JDS is top 5 heavyweight of all time. Yeah, he was a fucking beast, no doubt, at that point in time, for sure. But yeah, Justin, man, those uppercuts are fucking killer. Those uppercuts are nasty. Those uppercuts they're just a force, man, to be reckoned with. And if he can land those cleanly on you, there's not a lot of guys that can take a punch like that. And I give Ilia props for not going out right away with those flush uppercuts that were landed, but those things will wear on you, and that's what beat his fucking face up. Hell yeah, this is more proof why you never give up. That's what sports are for. 100%, man, especially in the fight game. You know, that's why I hate that Derek Lewis gives in like he does. That's why I hate that he doesn't fight it out more, because I feel like what happened in that Volkov fight is something that he could have done in a lot of other fights if he would have just put forth the effort and not just given in. Did you watch GSP versus Sarah live? I don't remember, honestly. I feel like I did, but a lot of times I think I watched something live, and it's just because when I first became an MMA fan, I wanted to learn about the history. I wanted to learn all the fighters up to the date that I was at. So I went back and I studied all the fucking fights. I went back and watched every fight I possibly could. I watched from the beginning to the point that I was at. I watched the Ultimate Fighter seasons. I watched all of it. So I can't remember, being how long it's been, I can't remember if I watched it live or not. I just know that I watched it. Were you going to bars? No, I was buying this shit. I was buying it. I was having huge, crazy watch parties at my house during UFC nights. So a lot of times I would 100% have to go back and watch the fights the next day while I was hungover. But I don't remember, Antoine. I have a horrible memory. I drank too much. I did some drugs. And there was a lot of crazy nights. So I don't remember, unfortunately. What was the deepest you guys had ever been? 30 people? Oh, dude, yeah. I had about 30, 40 people at my house at one time. It got so crazy we had to start telling people they couldn't just invite anybody, that they had to clear it first because it got crazy. There, I have some pictures where you'd like looking. I'm looking out from my corner of my kitchen into where it flowed into the living room, and you can see just a ton of people. Because people used to just bring people, regardless. I freaking like this guy. Who are you talking about, Xavier? Talking about me? Dude, I got stories, man. You know what, I'll dive into some pictures, and I'll try to pull out some pictures of maybe some of those fight nights, because we have a ton of them. Like, we used to take group pictures where everybody would like line up, whoever was still standing at the end of the night, because it was just drunk and crazy nights. But yeah, appreciate it, Xavier, man. Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of stories, man, but I'll try to bring out some pictures and show you guys. Also just pictures of times that I've met fighters. Like, I met Chuck Liddell. I saw GSP and John Jones. I didn't get to meet them though, but I met a bunch of fighters, honestly. Mark Coleman, I got to wear I have the fucking pride belt over my shoulder, which is dope. I met a lot of fighters back in the day. Pat Barry, I got to get a picture with him just randomly. A lot of people. I don't even remember everybody, but yeah, I'll try to pull some pictures out and show you guys, throw them up here for you guys one time. What was the deepest pay-per-view? A Silva one? Yeah, anytime Silva, anytime Conor fight, anytime you know, like that Kane versus Brock fight, that was a big one. A lot of people for that one too. Yeah, there was a lot, man. Silva fights were always, you know, Silva versus Chael, that was a big one. I had a lot of people come over for that. Yeah, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2, but I remember it was Silva versus Chael for sure. I think it was the first one, if I remember correctly. But yeah, anyway, Justin versus Ilia. I mean, we talked about a lot of it, man. There's not a whole lot more to talk about. We talked about so much of it, but I wanted to go through the back then I didn't really grill a whole lot. It was more just like, you know, like snacks and shit, kind of like we do for the watch parties here. Yeah, sometimes we would order pizzas. A lot of times I would at first I was grilling a lot of shit. Like, I would make like pulled pork, I would make ribs, I would make burgers and hot dogs. But but yeah, like after a while it kind of got expensive, you know what I mean? And then it was just so much work for me because I'm doing all the cooking. So then we started just going to like snacks and shit. Other people would bring stuff over. Sometimes people would bring over pizzas. Sometimes people would just bring over food. So, bro, I met Chuck once as a kid. Very cool. Hell yeah. I met him in 2013 for the UFC Fan Expo. I waited in line for like 2.5 hours and got to meet him, which my kids wanted to meet him more than I did, which was badass. So yeah, I had to stay in that line. And yeah, I didn't get a chance to meet other fighters because of that, but I thought it was fucking awesome to be able to meet Chuck Liddell. So who was the biggest star back then? I mean, it depends on what era you're talking about, but obviously in 2013, I mean, yeah, John Jones, GSP was still around, I think. Fuck, I don't even remember, man. There was just so many. I'd have to really dig deep in my brain at that expo in particular. Yeah, I mean, Chuck was, like I said, I waited 2.5 hours. I couldn't even get in the GSP line. And then John Jones was doing like a broadcast or something. He had like the headset on and shit. He was signed to Nike at that point. Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy to be there at that point in time. Now that I think about it too, you know, just thinking back to 2013, fuck, man, it's nuts that I was there. I met a bunch of people. I can't even fucking remember at this point. Anyway, yeah, Justin versus Gaethje. Like, look how fucking beat up Ilia's face was. Justin versus Gaethje. Justin versus Ilia. Justin battle tested experience while Ilia was hitting back-to-back home runs. Yeah, man, that experience really paid off for Justin, and you know, he said he's emotionless, man, and I feel like, you know, that was that it paid off for him, man. That's just what got him through it. As soon as his eye swelled, it was over. Yeah, you know, you heard Justin say Pretty Boy didn't like the blood. As soon as he got hit and opened up, he couldn't stop touching his face. But he also said, you know, you heard it in what I read off earlier, that Ilia said, you took my eyesight from me in my right eye in the first round. So favorite pay-per-view from back then? I don't know, man. I'd have to really think about it, because dude, is so long ago. Like I said, too much alcohol and shit involved. But I'll try to think about it. But yeah, Ilia's just face is mangled, man. It was insane. I can't even imagine the pain his face is in today. But Justin just beat him up, and I give props to Ilia for being able to take that much damage and stick around. But you know, also people are saying that he quit on the stool, but I don't think he had a choice, man. I think they would have ended the fight right then. They wanted to end it after the third round. That's partly his fault though, and that could be seen as quitting, is saying out loud that you can't see. He shouldn't have been doing that. Maybe he was like, I'm gonna say it and act like I kind of shouldn't have said it, and kind of like I fucked up a little bit, but also maybe they'll stop the fight because I want out. Who knows? You never know what's going through the fighter's mind at that point in time. But it's a tough one, man, and I gotta give him props for sticking around in there. Do you think this extended his career now that he wants to avenge a loss? I don't know. I gotta see how he comes back, man. Does he come back with a vengeance, or does he come back and if he fights Justin, does Justin just have his number? Does he fight another opponent like Justin? There's not too many guys like Justin, but does he fight another guy that can hit like Justin and he just folds? I don't know. I never can say what, you know, what's gonna happen, or you know, what could happen until I see how he bounces back, because you can either bounce back and get a big win and continue on like the loss never happened, or you can let that overtake your mental and then not be able to bounce back and you know, have to wait a while before you get a big win. Look at what happened to Steve Erceg, who went on like a 3-fight losing streak after losing to Pantoja when he was on such a big streak on his way up there. You know what I mean? Bro, he was pissing blood the second the knee connected. I think Justin will make him fight another contender first. I wouldn't doubt it. We'll see if Justin even sticks around, man. We'll see if he even sticks around. But yeah, these pictures were just insane. That's why I had to put them out there. I mean, look at this one. Oh yeah, those were the two I was thinking of. But yeah, this you can't beat a Justin Gaethje. He's called the highlight for a reason, and these backflips are insane. He almost broke his goddamn neck as he fell off of the after he landed it. But you know, when it comes down to it, he shows his athleticism. He had trouble getting up on the side of that cage, but look at, he still did it. He flew in the air with the fucking White House in the background, which is nuts. And you know, he pulled it off. So a win on top of a win for Justin Gaethje, man. And then looking like a badass with the 2 belts, sitting in that office, as well as throwing up the birds. You got to give him the love for that, man. Shit was badass. Justin Gaethje, I'm proud he's from Arizona, and fuck, I'm happy for him, and I'm proud of him for getting this win. He was counted out so badly, and he barely has any marks on his face after the fact. So all good shit. I definitely think it would be a good idea for him to walk away. I think that just going out on top like this, people might say that he's running, people might say that he's ducking, but I think that he's done enough in his career, and his career was almost folded after, you know, a few losses, that people were calling for him to retire already anyway. So I feel like right now would be a great time for him to retire, but you know, maybe he's not feeling it. So can he get the base again after being struck out? I don't know. I think Justin, does this solidify him as the most entertaining fighter of all time? One of, for sure. One of. I don't know if I would call him the most, but he's definitely one of the most entertaining fighters, for sure. For sure. It's an emphatic win. He's called the highlight for a reason, and his celebrations are insane. So yeah, for sure. But yeah, that about does it, man. Let's take a look at these picks. I went 4-3. The Fight Wheel went 4-3. This is kind of like last weekend's picks, where I went 4-1. The Fight Wheel went 4-1, but we had different losses. So I picked Garcia, while the Fight Wheel picked Diego Lopez. So those were different there. Obviously, the Fight Wheel got that win, and I got that loss. But when it came to the Hoofy Chandler fight, the Fight Wheel predicted Chandler, and I picked Hoofy. So that was my other win. So if you're new here and you don't know, I do totally random Fight Wheel predictions. I used to do just a Fight Wheel prediction. So I put the fights all in the wheel. I spin the wheel, and whoever's name it comes up on means they're gonna win according to the Fight Wheel predictions. It's totally random. So I take that name out, I take out the opponent's name, and then we spin it again to see who wins. And we see how the Fight Wheel does after that. But I started to make it a little more interesting by making my own picks again to see how it does up against the Fight Wheel predictions. And so far, we've been kind of even, which is weird. But it's always a different fight that we lose and win. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. It's a little entertaining thing to do, and just to see how I do with my picks, as well as how some totally random Fight Wheel would predict the fights. So yeah, come back on Thursday, and you can check out the regular show for a preview day. You know, this White House card has been totally different, and you know, this show is a good representation of a recap show. But yeah, that's about how the shows go. And if you like it, keep coming back. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of the subscriptions, the likes, all that good shit. And yeah, I just keep doing my thing, man. I'm just a passionate fan. I like talking to you guys. The chat makes it so much more fun. You guys were going crazy in there today. It was hard for me to keep up, but you know what? It's fun trying. And I like talking to you guys about things. You bring up great points. You get my mind working, and yeah, it's always fun. So I appreciate you guys for all the support. I appreciate you for coming in and interacting, and constantly coming back, for all of you that do. So thank you. All is good. So are you, bro. Appreciate it. And yeah, so on Thursday we'll have a recap. On Thursday we'll have a preview of next weekend's fight: Manel Kape versus Kyoji Horiguchi, Ian Cutelaba versus Navajo Sterling, Vinicius Oliveira Lockdog versus Andre Touchy-Feely, Hyder Emil versus Christian Rodriguez, Andre Lima versus Kevin Borjas, and fuck, I can't even say those guys' names, but about to roll up and watch this pod back. Right on, Antoine. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Xavier. For sure, come back, man. Thank you for your interactions and all your chatter and stuff. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's it for me. Come back on Thursday for the preview of next weekend's fights, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. That's it for me. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Peace.